credibility, promoting media literacy, yo. Oh, the way to go. Come, oh, the way to go. ComWeek, for creativity, reciprocity, for effectivity.
Your Eminence, Your Grace, my Lord Bishops, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Some weeks ago on a Saturday morning, I was getting ready to drive to the campus of Augustine University to say Mass for the students, when my attention was called to a flat tire I had. And I could not replace the tire because whoever fixed it made it so tight, I had to call for a vulcanizer. And while I was trying to solve that crisis, my phone rang. It was Father Michael Omo who called me. And the way he spoke, I couldn't say no to his request. He told me about this ComWeek and invited me to be lecturer on this occasion. When I consider his immense organizational skills, I couldn't say no to his request. So thank you very much for inviting me. It is a privilege which I do not take for granted. This year, on the 4th Sunday of Easter, as it is every year in the liturgical calendar of the Roman Catholic Church, the proclamation of the Gospel at Mass was about Jesus telling his disciples that he is the Good Shepherd. On that Sunday, I received an unusual but intriguing gift from my eldest nephew, Dio, who sent me an artificial intelligence-generated homily on the Gospel of the Good Shepherd. Reading through it, I must confess, was reading a very good commentary on the Gospel passage. However, for two reasons, I did not use it. First of all, I had already prepared and pronounced my homily before I checked what was posted on my Facebook page by my nephew. I saw the post after Mass. Secondly, even if I had seen it before Mass, I would not have used it as homily, for even though the commentary on the text of the Gospel of the Good Shepherd was quite good, delivering an artificial intelligence-generated homily would not sit well with the way a Dominican is supposed to preach. It would not sit well with the motto of the Dominican order to contemplate and to share with others the fruit of one's contemplation. The preaching of a son or daughter of the order of preachers ought to be fruit of his or her contemplation. An artificial intelligence-generated homily is anything but fruit of contemplation of the one who uses it. Yet religion cannot ignore the accomplishments of science and technology. What is to be done, or what is to be borne in mind, is the need for prudential usage of what science and technology offers humanity. How that is to be done is not what one learns from the Faculty of Science and Technology. It is learned in the realm of ethics and religion. In this lecture, therefore, I intend to explore how the astounding accomplishment that artificial intelligence represents can be of use for the work of development and evangelization in our time and clime. But there is a preliminary question, even if it is habitually taken for granted. The question is there artificial intelligence? Attempting to respond to that question is the first part of my intervention. The second and third parts briefly consider the implication of the answer for development and evangelization. So, is there artificial intelligence? Or, to formulate the question, in other words, or in a different order of words, can it ever be properly asserted that intelligence is artificial? My response to this question has a preface. And the preface comes by way of a description of the field of knowledge, that is, the scope of all that is knowable, and a description of essential attributes of an intelligent agent. But there is a preface before my preface. It is the definition of artificial intelligence by Lance Elliott, which I find to be quite intriguing. According to Elliott, and I quote, generative AI is based on a complex computational algorithm that has been data trained on text from the internet and admittedly can do some quite impressive pattern matching to be able to perform a mathematical mimicry of human wording and natural language. End of quote. Having said this, I now return to my proper preface. Concerning this, the first thing to say about the field of knowledge is that it is vast. It is vast because there is a lot to be known. The human intellect, despite its enormous force, and despite all it has known, has so far shown itself to be incapable of knowing all that is knowable. A thing is knowable because it is real, but the human intellect has not been able and will never be able to grasp all that is real. Reality exceeds the capacity of the human intellect. The extent of what is knowable by far exceeds the grasp of our intellect because the human intellect seeks to know. Because when the human intellect seeks to know, it finds itself on a vast field it cannot cover by its cognitive capacity. It was the expanse of the field of knowledge that influenced John Henry Newman in his seminal work, The Idea of a University, to describe this field as a vast terrain divided into three provinces of knowledge. First is the province of knowledge of divine realities, which is the province of theology. The second is the province of knowledge of nature, which is the province of natural sciences. And the third is the province of knowledge of human nature, of which is the province of arts. About a century after Newman, Bernard Lonergan would speak of field specialization, subject specialization, and functional specialization. Field specialization would represent the faculties in a university. Subject specialization would represent the departments domiciled within those faculties. And subject specialization would represent the courses taught within those departments. Now, it belongs to the province of knowledge that philosophy is to scrutinize, clarify, and define assumptions and locutions in the human quest for acquisition and communication of knowledge. In concrete terms, philosophy does not take things at their face value, but endeavors to go beneath and behind what is seen. Thus, philosophy's double task is to unearth what is hidden beneath what is seen and to reveal what lies behind what is seen. In this specific instance, it falls within the academic province of philosophy to take a closer look and be more careful, take a more careful look at what is conventionally designated as artificial intelligence. Using a philosopher's eye, it has become incumbent on me to come to a preliminary conclusion which I intend to share in and by this intervention. And that conclusion is: intelligence is never artificial. If it is artificial, it is not intelligent. If it is intelligent, it is not artificial. Philosophically interpreted, that which is designated artificial turns out to be anything but intelligent. Now, that is not to say that inventors of what we conveniently call artificial intelligence are bereft of intelligence. Neither is it to say that those who insist on using the designation are also lacking in intelligence. Rather, to say there is nothing intelligent in that which is designated artificial is to say if it is intelligent, it is not artificial. My conclusion is premised on two assumptions. First, an intelligent agent is endowed with self-consciousness. And secondly, an intelligent agent is endowed with self-volition. Inasmuch as what is conventionally designated as artificial intelligence is lacking in self-consciousness and lacking in self-volition, it would not be exact to speak of artificial intelligence. An intelligent agent is endowed with attributes which a mathematically programmed gadget regurgitating mathematically fed data does not have. A mathematically fed and mechanistically manipulated gadget lacking the essential attributes of self-consciousness and self-volition is anything but intelligent, unless, of course, one could sustain the argument that parrots and Pavlov dogs are intelligent simply because they perform acts which they have been programmed to perform and repeat at times and intervals chosen by their trainers and or by their instincts. But intelligence is a lot more than repetition of facts previously fed into a system. And if we are ready to tread the path of ascribing intelligence to dogs, parrots, and Pavlov dogs to animals. We must be ready to grant animals the right to vote and be voted for in our political process, the eligibility to represent us and or other animals in public offices of representative democracy. Not only is an intelligent agent conscious of itself and of the object it tends towards, an intelligent agent is endowed with self-volition. It is endowed with free will, and it exercises free will. An intelligent agent willfully engages in the process of knowing. In other words, it may will to know, and it may will not to know. It may will to share its knowledge, just as it may will not to share its knowledge and will to be secretive. None of this can be said to be an endowment of what is called artificial intelligence. What we're dealing with is a gadget that functions on what Eliot calls computational and mathematical calculations.
Modality, for ability, for community, for connectivity, compatibility, promoting media literacy. Show the way to go. Come, show the way to go. ComWeek, for creativity, reciprocity.